FA Cup final. And Hatchin! What a magnificent goal!
Good evening and welcome to All Things Sky Blue match preview, our game on Monday night at the MKM Stadium against Hull. Before I bring my guests on, please remember where you can find us. It is scrolling down at the bottom, but we are available on X or Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. We're available on YouTube, so please go and like and subscribe. We're also available on podcast, Amazon, Spotify, iTunes, or wherever else that you get your podcast from. If you listen to us on podcast, please go and rate us 5 stars. If you watch us on YouTube, please go and like and subscribe. Our subscriptions are getting really, really high now, so it's thanks to you guys out there that make it worthwhile. So much appreciated for that. We're sponsored by Right Steel Fabrications. His logo is in the corner. He can do your steel fabrication work up and down the country, but mainly in the Coventry and Warwickshire area. We're partnered by the Anecdote Sports Bar at the CBS Arena and also at the Tavern. I'm in the manager's office. If you've ever been here before, you'll recognise it. For those watching, if you haven't, come down. They do a great curry and English food. And you can have a drink and watch sport as well. We're also in association with Coventry Ladies as well. So more to come, hopefully, this season and next season on that. So before I bring my Hull guest in, I'll bring not my normal co-host. Mark can't make it tonight, but my co-host tonight has been on before. So let me introduce Mr. Josh Shale. Good evening, Josh. How are you?
All good, mate. I feel much more comfortable me being a co-host than the host. For anyone that watches or listens to our X Spaces or podcasts on a Sunday, I'm hosting, or I try to host. You don't know what I'm going to say. You don't know what I'm going to come out with. So I'm just glad that Stuart is taking the reins and is doing a much better job than me. But yeah, happy to be here.
I'm not sure about that after some of the comments that I've seen on YouTube lately. But thank you very much. So obviously, yesterday we beat Portsmouth 1-0, 90 plus 4 minute goal by homegrown Coventry City strikeout winger midfielder Jamie Patterson. A bit of a sigh of relief yesterday after the past couple of results that we've had haven't been the greatest results, but a much needed win and a much needed 3 points, wasn't it, Josh?
Yeah, 100%, Stu. It's one of those season-defining moments, probably up there with Ben Wilson at Blackburn a few seasons ago, where you just sort of feel to yourself that if those sort of moments happen for us, this could very much be our season. I don't think we were the better team, to be honest with you. I thought it was quite an even game. We had spells, but I think that it's one of them moments that it was just meant to be. I've watched the goal back maybe 20, 30 times. You just can't help but get goosebumps. I don't know if you feel the same, Stu.
Well, it's hard to miss it because it is literally all over social media, isn't it? On everything, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. I've seen it everywhere. So you can't get away from it. But it is a fantastic goal. Everything from Collins' boot up, Thomas drawing 2 players to him. It goes over everybody's head. Obviously over to Radoni. You're not sure what Radoni's actually going to do. And then he manages to squeeze it in between the 2 defenders, and Jamie Patterson does the rest and fires it in. But on Brad Collins, obviously there was, it was a controversial pick, if you like, really. Obviously, we don't see him in training, so it's easy for us to sit on the sidelines and say that he shouldn't be starting, it should be Ben Wilson. But he got a clean sheet. So I think, a big round of applause should go to Brad Collins. And I think, we need to just back him as much as we possibly can now.
Yeah, definitely. It's not the move I would have made if I was Frank. I think you can, based on Collins' last few appearances for us, I think before yesterday, you could sort of park the who's better out of Collins and Wilson and whatnot. You could park that to a side. I think what I saw with Collins, especially after the Burnley game, was a keeper low on confidence. And to me, I think if any player, forget he's a goalkeeper, I think any player low on confidence, you've got to take him out for a couple of games. But to be fair to Collins, like you say, Stuart, he has, you can always make arguments that he didn't have much to do, or he didn't have to make this save or that save. He kept a clean sheet, and that'll do him the world of good. It really, really will.
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I do hope so. So we've got Hull on Monday night. Let's bring in our Hull guest. He has been on before for the past couple of seasons. It's Ant. Good evening, Ant. How are you?
I'm all right, boys. How are we doing?
Yeah, very well, thank you. Thank you very much again for joining us, Ant. It is much appreciated. So before we get into it, pal, can you just let us know what you do and where we can find you again?
Yeah, so I'm obviously part of the Tuchel and Back podcast, which you can find on your usual audio platforms like your Spotify, your Apple Music, things like that. If you want to have an opposition side of things, we appreciate any listens, any shares, anything like that. But we're also on YouTube as well. So if you want to hop over and give us a subscribe, even if that's because you want to come and laugh at us because you've beaten us, fair play. We'll take any subscribe that we can get. And then you can find me ranting, as Stuart mentioned before the pod, on TikTok. So if you're literally just the same username to the bottom of the screen at North Graves, you can find me on TikTok if you want to come join in my lives and give me some stick and fair play. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I've been on your. I haven't been on your live with you, but I have watched you, and you do like to rant sometimes afterwards, and it is kind of funny. But I get your point. We kind of all do it to a certain degree. Obviously, I say obviously a lot. That's been mentioned as well in our comments. That I say that as well. So I will try and stop slightly. How can I say it? Your form at the moment is a bit up and down. You're kind of like drawing one, winning one, losing two, drawing two, winning three kind of thing. And it's a little bit of an up and down season. Do you think that's because of Tim Volter at the start and Ruben Selles should have been bought in? Do you miss Liam Rosenior? How's your season panned out so far?
Yeah, the Liam Rosenior comments one that comes up pretty much on any other show that I come on. It's one of those where I'd have been quite content for him to stay for another season just to see if he could learn from last season's mistakes. But I can also see why he went. I mean, he's a good manager, and I think that one day he will manage at the top. I just think that he's so early in his managerial career that there was a naivety in how he approached some games and how he managed some of the players. I mean, he had a fantastic team last season. I mean, look at Delap and players like that in the Premier League at the minute. Cavalier went for 30 million to Brentford, players like that. So we had a fantastic team, probably should have got the top six. I think we were absolutely hindered by injuries. We missed Delap for 6 months, Philogene for 3 months. So we lost, key players at big parts of the season. So that did have a lot to do with it. But, the style of play wasn't the prettiest to watch at home. We were quite boring. But if you're going to go into a summer of turmoil, I mean, we knew we were going to lose the majority of them players because a lot of our best players were on loan, so they were always going to go back. We knew Greaves and Philogene were too good for this league and would be leaving for the Premier League. So a lot of the departures we knew would come in. It was just we didn't really have replacements lined up. So maybe you could have an argument to keep Rosenior on just for that bit of stability and having that same manager in just to guide you into the next season and the rebuild. But we went all out and said, "Oh, screw it, we'll start from scratch completely and bring in some left field manager that none of us have ever heard of from Germany, who apparently plays really entertaining attacking football in Tim Volter." And it just so happens that he did not play anything remotely entertaining or attacking. We were horrendous. I think barring the 3 wins in a row we got back in October, we were by far the worst team in the league, and it was just rinse and repeat every game, conceding 2 or 3. Just looking abysmal, throwing everybody forwards at corners and not having anybody to defend. And we conceded from our own corner so often under Tim Volter. It was so annoying. But yeah, no, he should have gone some sooner than he did. I think that the Rosenior sacking was made to look worse because the replacement we brought in was so bad. So it made it look so much worse because of how bad we were doing. But I think if you bring someone like Sellers in from the start, it would have been, a bit more better because I think we were all realistically expecting mid-table this season, not quite a relegation fight. But that's what happens when you stick with Tim Volter till the late end of November when he probably should have gone in the international break beforehand. But We've been better since Sellers has come in. He's struggling to find consistency with the team. It is a very young team. We've been very unlucky with a lot of injuries. We brought quite a few players in that look like they could actually contribute to goal scorers. That's been our problem this season. We can't score goals. Players like Louis Barry came in, then got injured instantly. We've lost two of our best players to ACLs three of our best players to ACL injuries in Miller, Balumi and Matazo. It's just been a really, really frustrating season full of bad luck and bad decisions. So, we can't really complain we're in the position we're in. But if we can get through it, have a decent summer and plug in the gaps that we need to, next season could be quite optimistic with Ruben at the helm, because I think we're looking okay under him, and that's given the circumstances probably the best we can hope for.
Yeah, obviously I've said that word again. How's the style between Volta and Sellés changed your kind of fortunes, if you like, over the sort of the recent games? Because your home form, to be fair, looking at it, it's not been that bad. So you've been better at home than you have away. But again, it's been a little bit of a mixed bag all round, really. So how's Ruben Sellés changed things?
We definitely haven't been better at home than we have away.
Okay.
We're 24th in the league for home form. I think we've only won 19 points at home all season.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, the two
That's
wins.
My research that's gone down the drain, isn't it?
It's because you've probably looked at the recent home form where we won 2 on the spin against Oxford and Plymouth.
Okay. Yeah.
But before that, we'd only won twice at home all season. So we've only won 4 times. The last couple of games, like if the Luton loss there was poor, the Stoke loss at home was really bad. We have had some stinkers at home this season, and away from home we tend to be a lot better. I think we're in the top 10 for away form in the league, so we're polar opposites at the minute. But the biggest contrast in styles, I think, Tim Volta's was just chaos. There's no other way to describe it. It was just pure. It was messy. You could tell his man management was poor. The players didn't believe in what he was doing. They couldn't do what he wanted them to do. He wouldn't change the system to try and incorporate that. They couldn't. So we were forever playing a system the players couldn't do, and then he would just blame them for it. The fans fell out with him. The atmosphere was toxic. We bypassed the midfield completely and would only use the wingers. We played almost like a horseshoe. We'd go down the wing, across the back four and down the other wing. We never played the midfielders. It was really weird. It was just under Volta. It was just complete pandemonium. And then under Sellers, he's come in and brought a bit more organisation, a bit more effort. We press a bit higher up the pitch. The press is a bit more organised. I think since the games are running out, I think he's becoming a bit more reserved in how we're playing. We tend to not really be any. We don't really have any creativity going forwards because I think we're keeping quite a few players back. We don't commit the fullbacks anymore because I think he just has the mentality of let's not lose, because it's a bit that pressure towards the end of the season where he just wants to get points on the board. But when he first came in, you could see we were being quite adventurous. There is a style of player there that if we stay up and next season we have him, we might see a lot more of. But he's I think the best way to describe Sellers' style at the minute is he is necessary. It adapts to game by game tactics. He just needs to, I think, stop rotating as many players as he does and have a consistent starting 11, and we might find a bit more consistency in the performances. But look, we're doing fine under him, and I think we'll get enough points to stay up. So I'm not going to complain too much.
Excellent, Josh. We're going into pretty much every game that we're playing at the moment. Obviously we're fighting at the top end, but most of the teams that we're playing, starting from Portsmouth really yesterday, they're all fighting for relegation, aren't they? So it's always hard to, you've got to grind out results. And at the moment, that's what we're doing, isn't it?
Absolutely. I think that we showed, as we have done numerous times this season, that even in what I think last night was 95 minutes, we are still a threat. We are still bombing forward. And I think that one difference that I love about this season compared to others is there are goals now coming from all over the pitch. We've got Bobby Thomas scoring goals. We've got Victor Torp scoring goals. We've got all over the pitch, and I think that's been shown with Hadji Wright being out for 3.5 months and he's still our top goal scorer now. So I think there's a lot to like about us at the minute, and I think that long may it continue. We're going to go into the next 5 games against teams that are down there. They're not going to be easy games because the teams we're going to play, like Plymouth and others, they need points to stay up. But I think we've got more than enough quality to end up in that top 6. So, yeah.
Yeah, when we went on our run of I think we lost 2 in 14 games, we were playing teams around us and we were just picking up them points. The 3 main ones that we've lost is Burnley, Sheffield. The 2 at Leeds as well. Leeds as well. So Leeds, Burnley, and Sheffield United. Now they're all, they're the top 3, aren't they? They're vying it for their own positions, if you like. But everybody else, we're kind of grinding out results and picking up wins. Do you think Lampard is tactically astute enough? I've said in the past that I think he is. Do you think he's tactically astute enough to go toe-to-toe with a Ruben Sellers, if you like, at Hull and adapt as much as he needs to? We saw it in one away game at Blackburn, but I think apart from that, I think some of his substitutions, I think they've just come a little bit too late. Obviously, I can say that they didn't yesterday, and hindsight's a great thing. But I think in the past, I have questioned his substitutions and whether that he just takes a little bit too long. Would you agree, or do you think it's fine the way that he's doing it because we are getting the results?
I think you've kind of just answered that one there, Stu. I think we're getting results. It's always going to be easy saying that off the back of a win, but I mean, what did you think, Stu, when Bissett came on yesterday? I was quite surprised. I thought that he wouldn't come on. I thought Lampard would just bring Sims off the bench. What did you make of that when you saw his number go up?
Yeah, I was happy because obviously people that listen to me often enough know that I do like Bissett. I'm still not sure about. I'm not one for giving people 5 minutes here and there because I just don't think, especially a striker, it takes them 5-10 minutes to get into a game. So as they're getting into it, they're coming off, and I don't quite like that. I would like to see him have a lot more, but again, we don't see him in training. So again, it's easy for me to say that they should be starting and they should be having more minutes. But if they're not doing it in training, then they don't come on. That's the way that I see it. But to give him 5 minutes, yeah, I'm kind of happy with that, really, I suppose. But I just want to see him have more.
Yeah, I guess what I'd say as well, based on that, was it looked like the last 10 minutes we were kind of going for a 4-2-4. It looked as though we were going for the 2 up top and wingers. And let's be fair, we could have took a point last night. Yeah. It would have kept us going. Would have kept things ticking over, but it seemed like Frank and Joe Edwards and whoever else could just sense something. So I like the way that they could have stuck to our guns. We could have just played to a point, but we tried to go for it. And I think that is what separates the good teams from the top teams.
Yeah, possibly. Do you think, obviously, I said that word again. I think for the Hull game, Lampard's going to be on the sidelines because I think it's going to be processed. I don't think the FA had processed the ban in time, but against Hull, I think it will be. Do you think that will make a difference, him being in the sidelines in the stands instead?
I don't think so.
Okay.
That's a hard one to gauge. I think that what I would say is if Lampard isn't there on the sidelines, you've got Joe Edwards there that's managed Millwall before. He's got that experience at England level 2. So even if Lampard is upstairs, so to speak, I've got full confidence in Joe Edwards. And let's just say as well, for people that may have missed it, I thought Joe Edwards spoke really well after Burnley in his post-match interview. I think he said this on last Sunday. Yeah. I thought he spoke really well, and he's got that. He just gets it. So I'd be more than content with him being Lampard's replacement on Monday.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you very much. Going back to you, Ant, just going through your injuries that you've got. You've got Elliot Matonzo, Louis Barry, as you've mentioned already, Sunik, Bellumi, and Liam Miller. Any of them likely to be back, or are they all out for the season, or not the season, but the foreseeable?
Yeah, they're all out. I mean, Durkan Sinik is a bit of the he's the butt of all the jokes at the minute of this football club. We spent a lot of money on him a few years ago. I think it was £4 million. He was a Turkish international at the time. He came here, and every time he's probably played about 5 or 6 games in about 3 years. He's always injured, and then apparently he's on the road to recovery. He's just played for the under-21s or whatever it is on the weekend, and they're on about him maybe making an appearance before the end of the season. But he's one of them that we just all want to go now. We've had enough of him. Like, if he comes on and scores a winner against Pompey on the last game, we keep him going, But we're about done with him. But yeah, all the others are long term. I think Miller and Ballumi both got ACL injuries within a week of each other, and they were easily our best 2 players at the time. Elliot Matazzo, we brought in from AS Monaco, who's been an absolute coup. And I think if he'd not been injured, he'd be one of the signings of the season in the league. He's played nearly 100 games for Monaco. He was playing in the Champions League earlier on this season. He's only 22 or something like that, and he was brilliant. Man of the match against Sunderland away helped us get the win there, which was their first defeat at home all season. And then he got an ACL as well. So it's just really frustrating. And like you say, Louis Barry lit up League One, 15 goals by January. Yeah. Came here. He'd gone back to Villa because he had an injury and he had a month out. Came up, was starting to get some appearances off the bench and get himself going. And then he got his first start against Sunderland and then did knee ligament. So it's just been really, really unlucky in that sense. And we're really struggling to get players out wide. But no, none of them will feature, I don't think. So I don't think we'll see any of them till next season if we can manage to get Barry back, that is.
Okay. And I was looking at, some of the players that you have got that was in the last game. Joe Gelhardt, Pedro, Matt Crooks, Tom Ince, Vac Bayo. I'm a big fan of Bayo. I like him a lot. He's a big lad, tall lad. I remember when you were on last time, he was going through a bit of a dry spell because he went through at the start of the season. I think he was scoring a little bit, and then Bayo.
I don't think we've got a Bayo.
Have you not?
No, nor a Tom Ince. I think they're both Watford players.
Oh, was I looking at the wrong one? Oh God, I was, weren't I? Oh God,
I'm thinking, has he abbreviated somebody's name there?
Yeah,
Pedro and Gelhardt, though, they're our players.
I was going to say, you have got them, haven't you? I must have been looking between the two. Sorry, mate. Sorry. Yeah, they are.
You used to have Tom Ince, if that's of any consolation, a few years ago.
No, not really. It's gone down the drain already, isn't it? So, yeah, you've got Gelhardt. Oh, God, I've gone right off my ball now. You've got Gelhardt and you've got Pedro. Pedro scored in the reverse fixture.
Very, very fortunate to get that goal, to be fair. We were absolutely battered that game.
Oh, was you?
Yeah. I think that was one of the worst performances we had. And considering how good we are away, that reverse fixture at the CBS was painful. We were really bad.
Right, okay, fair enough. Okay, well, after that, we'll swiftly move on. Have you got any questions for us at this time?
No, not really. I just think that you guys will be coming here quite confident. I think we're at home, we never really back ourselves. We've been really poor at home for like 2 or 3 years now. It's getting quite tedious, to be fair. This season it's been absolutely dreadful. Like I say, only 4 wins at home all season is painful, and 2 of those wins came last month. So yeah, it's been a really, really long year, especially when you're attending. Like, you wake up in the morning for a home game and you're just like, oh God, it's football today. But an away game, you're all like, yes, here we go. It's just polar opposites. But I think Monday's it's a really weird one because we're very typical City is the phrase that we use if we could play the rest of the season against teams that were in the top 6, we'd probably stay up because we're really good at getting points against the better teams in the league. Like, we went to Sheffield United away and won 3-0. We went to Sunderland and won 1-0. We got Leeds 3-3 at home. I think we won more points against the top 6 and we have teams on the outside under Sellers. Okay. So it's one of those, but we're also really bad at home. So I don't know which way it's going to go for us. It'd be very typical that we would turn up and sort of smash and grab a 1-0 win, but I just can't see it because I just think Coventry have got too much momentum. I think they've got too much quality, and we're, like I say, we're down to the bare bones in offensive wise, and we're even playing a centre half in left back because we've just got Ryan Giles has been absolutely disgraceful, so we sent him out on loan to Borough, where he's continued to be disgraceful. So it's just one of them. It's been a really poor season, but I think it'll be a good game. I think if Cov go 1-0 up, you've won the game. If we go 1-0 up, it'll be a tense one because
Okay.
it'll be whether or not we can hold on to it. But I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, fair enough. Back to you, Josh. Obviously, Victor Torp came off after 20 minutes yesterday. Hopefully, he's going to be okay. Rumours has it that he got off the stretcher and he walked into the changing rooms. Seems like just maybe a little bit of ligament damage in his ankle, so it might not be that bad. Again, touch wood that it isn't. Do you think he sticks with the same team that ended the game? Well, not ended the game, I should say, but that Sheaf came in for Torp. Do you think he sticks with Grimes, Radoni and Sheaf in that midfield three? Sakamoto, Hadji, Mason Clark on the left, and the back four and the goalkeeper as is? Or do you see any changes and rotation happening?
I think the only change I see is, like you say, I think if Torp can't play, which I don't think he will, based on how he went off, I'm going to say it, I'm not a massive fan of Grimes and Sheaf playing together. I think they're too similar. I think if Grimes is going to sit in that role and drop between the back two when in possession, I think that's quite similar to Sheaf. I think you need two advanced players in front of him. So I would go Grimes sitting and probably Allen and Rudoni more advanced and keep the same. Apart from that, that's the only sort of change I can see.
Okay, just to put one out there, what about Patterson playing in that central midfield role? Because we know he can score a goal. We know he's got energy. Could you see that potentially happening?
It's a good shout. I wouldn't be opposed to it. But at the same time, I think that I don't think Patterson started for us at all. So I wouldn't try and reinvent the wheel or try and force him in based on the winner. I'd just try and keep it as it is, essentially.
Okay, fair enough. Not a problem. Prediction time then, boys. We'll go to you first. Ant, what's your prediction for the game?
Oh God, it's a home game, so I don't know if I can muster up enough optimism for it. No, I think we'll probably be a better performance than the last three games we've had because we need to, and we, like I say, we tend to play better against teams that are pretty high in the table because they come and attack, and that's how we prefer it because we like to exploit the space on the counter. The teams that sit back and sit deep, we just struggle to break them down. So I think this will be a game that suits us more. I just think that Cov have got too much in terms of quality. I mean, we've seen that now from the run they've been under Lampard. There's goals all over the team, and there's not many goals in our team at all. That's been the problem all season. So I'm going to go for Coventry to win 2-1, I think. But I think it'd be a good game, and we're not expecting now from this game. It's Swansea, Preston, Derby, and Pompey that we're targeting. This one's just get out from it. It's a bonus. But yeah, okay. Cov 2-1 for me.
Okay, fair enough. Josh?
I don't think it's going to be as easy for us as people are making out. I think people are quick to look at league position and think that we're going to batter teams. I don't think that's how it's going to work. I think it'll be a tough game. I'm going to go for... I think we'll win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to us, and I think that I'm going to even... I think we might even go 1-0 down and just show a bit too much quality in the second half.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going to give Collins the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to say we're going to keep another clean sheet. Not for any particular reason. I think it will be a tough game, but I think it's going to be 2-0. I think we will show our quality. I think there might be even, we might have an early goal and a late goal kind of scenario, and in between is a little bit of to-in and throw-in. But I think Ant and you, Josh, have said it. I think we'll have a little bit too much quality in the final third, especially. So hopefully we get the win. So thank you very much for that. So before we do finish off, Ant, the last time that you were on, we did quickfire questions. So we're not going to do new ones. We're going to review and see if you can remember what you said. Don't worry if you can't. It's fine. Okay. So the first one I said is a player to look out for the season. Can you remember who you said?
Charlie Hughes, is it?
Yes, spot on. Yeah, it was. How's that worked out for you?
Yeah, to be fair, he's easily our best defender. Young lad, needs to be captain next season. Fantastic player. I think he's Premier League in 2 or 3 years, 100%.
Do you think he might go in the summer then if one of the big boys that come down?
Definitely if we get relegated. If we stay up, maybe not, unless a really big offer came in, because I think we've put a lot into him. But yeah, we'll probably definitely get some interest in him, and Alzate, I would imagine, will struggle to hold on to them both.
Okay, fair enough. I also asked you, where will Cov finish? Can you remember what you said?
Did I say something like 8th?
No, a little bit lower. You said 12.
A little bit.
Yeah. Has that changed? Do you think that we'll stay in the playoffs?
I do. I actually went on the Green King Sports sort of content day, and I said that I think Cov are dark horses to win it, because I just think that playoffs is such a weird. It's a mentality thing. So I think the teams like obviously one of the top 3 that are going to miss out on autos don't want to be in the playoffs, so they go in on a negative mindset because this is not where they want to be. Yeah. Sunderland have pretty much been playoffs for the last 3 months, so they're coasting. So they're not really going in with momentum. They've already been there. They're kind of just like, oh, we just want the season to finish now so we can do it. Yeah. And then the others, it's all about momentum. And I think Coventry, coming from where you were to where you are now, it just has the trademarks, I think, of a team that will just sort of surprise everybody and go up. But even if you don't, I think you do finish top 6.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Can you remember where you said that you would finish?
14th?
No, lower. 19th.
Lower. 19th, did I say?
You said 19th.
Look at that.
Do you, obviously, I think you've mentioned it already. Do you think that you'll stay up?
I do now, yeah. I think the optimism's definitely there. Like I said before the show started, I think that someone got the league table up that since we appointed Sellers, we're like 7th in the league. So we're obviously picking up points on a consistent enough basis, I think, that we'll stay in the division. The problem is that everybody else, no matter what run we string together, everybody else wins games as well. We just can't claw away from it. It's really frustrating. But our goal difference is far better than a lot of the teams around us as well. So I think we'll just limp over the line, yeah.
Okay. Who are your 3 to go down?
I think the current bottom 3 go down.
Do you?
Yeah. I just think that I think Derby have got enough in them that they've shown that they've again, their goal difference is good as well. So I think that they've got, John Eustace has shown he knows what he's doing. I think they stay up. I think Plymouth are dead and buried after last night's result. I just think Cardiff lack so much quality for me. I just think that they've had a very turbulent year and they'll go down. And then Luton, I just think the couple of bad injuries they've got now to, I think it was Adebayo and Doughty. Yeah. I think he'll just sort of put a halt to any momentum that they've had, and they've got a really tough last few run of fixtures. So I think the current bottom 3 are the ones that go down.
Well, they've got us as well in that run as well that they've got. So I also asked one player from Coventry that you would take. Can you remember who you said?
It had to have been the left back. Was it a left back? Oh, was it Sheaf?
No. Sims.
Yeah.
You said
I think
Sims.
I'd switch that to right now, I think.
Oh, would you?
Yeah. I think we've just got no goals in the team. So I think any of Coventry's attackers we'd have right now, to be fair. Even the ones that sat on the bench, we'd take them.
Well, you can take Asante. I shouldn't really say that.
Well, you stole him from us, so no, you can take it.
Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. I like Asante. He scored a great goal against Swansea for us. He's just got a little bit of a niggling injury, and I think that may have hampered him slightly this season in what he was trying to do. So hopefully he comes back fit and fresh and ready for the Premier League next year when we're there. And I said, if you can, give me one word about Ruben Sellers. Can you remember what you might have said about Ruben Sellers at the time?
Was it Sellers at the time? Optimistic.
You did indeed. Well done. Has that changed?
No, I don't think so. I think that, like I say, because of how well he's done since coming in, like we say, with the fact that we're missing so many key players, we haven't got really any goal scorers in the team. And he's still managed to steer us to the kind of run that he has done, has shown that he's a good manager. And I think that if we have a decent and stable summer, which we don't tend to have, if we just do it right this transfer window and get a couple of left backs in, a couple of goal scorers, just leave the midfield as it is and the wingers to come back from injury, I think we'll be all right next season. And I think we're definitely in good hands. We've got a good young up and coming manager. He's shown he knows what he's doing. So it's just stay in the league, please.
I'm sure you will. Look, I like I said, I look at your team. Apart from the players that obviously don't play for you, that I made that mistake on. I think you've got enough in there to keep yourselves up. And the way that I always view it is: are there 3 worse teams in the league than you? And I think there are than 3 worse teams than Hull in the league. So I'm not sure about Derby. I understand what you're saying about Eustace, but I just think that, you know, he did well at Birmingham. He did okay at Blackburn. And I just think, you know, when you go to different clubs, there's got to be a sticking point. And he went to Derby when they were down the bottom, and he had a chance to keep them up, and he's still got a chance to keep them up. I just think third time unlucky that he might not be able to just do enough. So I think Derby may go down. I think it's going to be tight. I think it's going to be tight all the way to the end of the season. I think.
Yeah, it'll go to the last game, I think.
Yeah, definitely. And I think we will as well. But I think we will stay in there and we will be in the playoffs. So on that, I'd like to thank you both for joining me. Obviously, Josh, I will speak to you soon anyway, but obviously don't shoot off after the recording because we just need to have a quick chat. And again, thank you very much. If you can just remind us where we can find you and what you do.
Yep, so you can find the Hull and Back podcast on your usual audio platforms, your Spotify's, Apples, whatever you listen to your podcasts on. Find us also on YouTube, but make sure you type in Hull and Back podcast, because if you just put Hull and Back, you'll get the Only Fools and Horses episode. So whichever one you want to watch. And then obviously you can find me on TikTok. You just search for Ant Northgraves. You'll see me ranting and raving after every game.
You'll see him definitely ranting. Yeah. Always rants.
Definitely on Monday night, yeah.
Right, just remember where you can find us as well, guys. It has been scrolling down the bottom, but those who just listen to us, we are available on X or Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Please go and like and subscribe if you do watch us. If you listen to us, please go and rate us 5 stars. We're sponsored by Right Still Fabrications, and we're partnered with the Antidote Sports Bar and the Sky Blue Tavern, where I am tonight. And we are in association with Sky Blue Ladies as well. So once again, Ant, good luck for Monday and good luck for the rest of the season. But I think that we will do just a little bit too much. So hopefully we won't damage you too much in terms of the relegation fight that you're possibly in. Josh, speak to you soon. Guys, thank you very much and play up Sky Blues.
Cheers.